kind of a weird video. We got to dispose of a body. You'll find out about that in a minute. I got the first real frost or freeze coming in of the year. We're going to get down to, I think it's 32 and 30 degrees and 34 degrees. So lots of things are going to change here. We'll talk about the garden. We'll talk about the lawn. Unfortunately, we had a deer jump off a cliff and die. We got to go take care of that. I got just a bunch of different stuff. I figured I'm carrying the camera around. I'm shooting it, so I'm going to put it on video. If you want to watch it, watch it. If not, like I said, Netflix is a great option. Here we go. Out. We're going to close this off because I really don't need stairs going out that way. It's stupid. So I told Jesse, I said, this will be good clickbait. Hiding a dead body. We're about to cover up the crime down here. Do you see her?
Won't be too bad. So
what I'm thinking is I'm thinking she went like running through here at the night and fell down and broke her neck, is what I'm thinking, because that's a pretty steep drop off down there. It's all boulders, and so I'm thinking that she fell down there, and because I don't see any other injury to her, so I'm assuming that's what it was. It could have been a car hit, but I'm assuming that she was running through here at night and fell down and broke her neck. So
pretty good burn right there.
Yeah, and all those boulders down there.
Right.
So the way I went down is I went down through here. That's probably the easiest way.
I'm gonna go check her out right quick.
Yeah. You sure you want to take your coffee down there? Dude, I love I'd be taking my coffee down. You might want to take a stick with you here. Take a spider stick with you. So you learn with these new, what are they called? What are those green spiders called? The
Goro?
Yeah, the Goro, whatever. Man, they're everywhere in here. We kill like 100 a day. We spray them. You always take a stick into the woods around here so you can wipe it in front of your face. So I got 3 bags of lime. We're just going to cover up with lime. Just let nature take its course. But last year, I was driving down this pond berm, and right over here, and there was a dead doe in the water. Crazy. Remember, it's not the crime. It's the cover-up that always gets you. It's always the cover-up. Cover using the lime. I'm getting tired of watering. Alright, so here's the pond, there's the pump. It's got to be 450 feet of 2-inch lay flat hose all the way up to the fields. I don't know why, but I guess I'll go up and water the vegetable garden, even though it's probably all going to die off. So that's the big 1200 water sprinkler there. That does that whole field. Got air bubbles. And that's the 1000, the smaller unit that's doing that upper field. And then I created a T in here, and I run a 3/4 inch garden hose over to my garden. But I figure, since we're on the subject of death, here's what I'm gonna lose today, this week. Look at this. Look at all these tomatoes in here. And this whole row, there's gotta be 100, 150 tomatoes here. Look at the peppers. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at that. Look at the red peppers in here. I know everyone's going to say, Doc, why don't you take this and why don't you do some canning? I just don't have time right now, unfortunately. I've got so much going on, and then my brother's coming up, so I'm getting the property ready for him so we can hunt together. because it's been a couple of years. So, but I'm gonna grab what I can here produce wise. I'm gonna grab a bucket full. I'm gonna take it over to my neighbor. She's a sweet old lady. I'll take it over to her, but I just don't have time to come up here and harvest a lot of this, unfortunately. I think the turnips and the radishes and I think all this kind of stuff will be fine, but like most of my green beans, I'm also come up and grab a handful now, because look at all the tomatoes I have. Now keep in mind, keep in mind, we don't use any fertilizers. We haven't used fertilizers in 4 years up here. We just use dirt booster and that's it. But look at all these tomatoes still in here. Isn't this crazy? I mean, this is, every row is like this. Like this whole plant, this one plant probably has about 10, 15 peppers on it. I mean, and there's some of them are starting to turn red, which is beautiful. Look at that. Check a red pepper out. So sweet. So sweet. Wow. Beast. What a beast. Oh my goodness, what a monster. I can barely get my hand around that guy. I gotta get that hook out of there now. And if you take a stick and actually push it down, it actually releases it. Isn't he gorgeous? Isn't he gorgeous? That is just a monster there. Fred knows. I just threw a bunch of fish food out there. Fred has decided to go get him a fish. Look at him. He's so smart. He's here every day. My big blue heron. So if you don't think that the irrigation makes a difference, look at this field I'm about to show you, and look where the water hits it and the water doesn't hit it. You see over there how brown it is and dead? Then when the water hits it, it all turns green. It's all green in here, and then it, boom, dries off again, turns brown. Isn't that crazy? So I'm starting to get a lot of questions about cutting height when it comes to the winter, your final cutting height. I'll talk about that in a second, but I know someone's gonna ask some questions about the deer back here. We went back there and she already had started. Why didn't we move her? Well, she had already started to decompose too bad, and she was stinking real bad. And my brother's coming up to hunt. I didn't want that stench, so basically we just cover up with lime and just let her naturally slowly decompose, and it'll sort of cover up that stench of death. So but we have does get hit all the time by cars out here, so it's not uncommon. But I think she just fell off that cliff. So on the cutting height, you know, Bermuda grass, I used to leave it a lot longer. Now so I don't have so much work to do on a scalp, I keep mine in the wintertime about 1.5 inches. So maybe about 1.5 inches on Bermuda. On cool season grass, you know, I don't know, just whatever your last cutting height was. I don't think there's one thing. The only thing you don't want to do is, you know, leave it super, super long. Then you can get into some mold issues. You know, keep your maybe 2 inches maybe on a cool season lawn. Leave it at about 2 inches, and that'll be good for the winter. But hopefully you've put down some fast release nitrogen. I put down green shocker here. Next, in about 5 days, I'll bring the camera out here and we'll look at this perennial rye and see how it handles. I saw 29 pop up. I saw 29, so I got a feeling I'm gonna lose that whole garden up there. Again, I just don't have time to go up and salvage a lot of that. We will go back in and make sure you're subscribed, because what we'll do is I'll show you how we winter prep our gardens up there. Once that all freezes off, we'll pull all that out. We'll take some of our compost that we've been working on. We'll put compost, we'll put dirt booster, and we'll actually run a till over that. and then we'll cover it up and it'll be sort of its own little miniature compost rows all the way through that garden. And next year we just basically go plant right there. We don't have to do anything else. I did have to show you these. Aren't these cool? So these are antique old plow tines, and I have these, and then I have about 5 more of these. So what I plan to do with those is, when we finish off this cabin in here, Austin and I were talking, and I think what I'm going to do is we're going to use a rough cut board going across, and then I'm going to use my old antique, my 1797 beams that I have, and we're going to run them up and across the ceiling, and then I'll have a wall of those antique tines, plow tines. I think that'd be pretty cool in here. So this will be an interesting project because we got to run power, got to run water, and then I am going to, when we trench the water and power line in here, I'm also going to run a 2224, which is a real big underground cable, back over to the house in case I want to put solar up on the roof. I don't want to have to go back and retrench it, so I'll put that down too. But Jesse, who helped me last year, is out here doing some work, and this was open before, and then he came in and he mimicked this right here. He built that yesterday too, so we got that closed off. What a nice view, isn't it? Fred's over there sitting on the log. So anyways, guys, I'll see you in a couple days. Done.